Right, hi guys, welcome to this mini series on how to get any construction business to earning and pumping out 100 grand a year profit as a good base level. That's a common thing that people want to get to. They want to earn 100 grand, six figures, whatever way you want to put it. So this series is all about all the different elements that you're going to need to be able to actually do that and actually make it happen, rather than just a loose just do this and you'll make 100 grand, because it's not as simple as that. So each part of the videos and all this in this whole series will have all the different bits from marketing, sales, the numbers and all that types of stuff. So today I really want to go through the inner workings of the business and what it actually sort of looks like, to give you a real firm overview of actual reality as well. So there's four key things that you need to be aware of and focused on at this stage. If you're there sitting there now going, right, I want to get to 100 grand a year profit, there's four main things you've really got to focus on. Number one is the margin, the profit margin that you're going to be working to. Every business has to work to a set profit margin. End of. That is ground zero of fundamentals of business, what margins you're going to be working to. Now, the key thing is knowing, well, what margin do you work to? And look, it's difficult to fully understand everyone's business that's going to be watching this, but an industry sort of average and a good place that I think you should start from and build a business from is around 20% gross profit margins, okay? Now, that allows you to actually build up some profits in the business, start making some money. It's buildable, it's scalable, it's not aggressive on the margin front. But in terms of margin, I could talk about it all day, because different business models, different tactics, different strategies, depending on the type of work, the value of the works, the swing would be massive from really low margins to high margins for bespoke work. But for the purposes of this video and most people watching this, 20% is the level that I want you to work from, and that's the basis that we're going to use going forward. Okay. And number two, you need to really understand the numbers of that 100 grand gross profit and break it down, because it's easier to break it down and set yourself monthly targets. Because for me, 100 grand a year comes out, I think it's 8,300 quid a month. That's what you've got to be doing. So 100,000 pounds divided by 12. 8,333 quid, for argument's sake, to be exact. That's the amount of profit that you need to earn every single month. Then if you break that down even further, based on 52 weeks in the year, that's going to be 1,900 quid a week profit you need to make. Now, I find people find it easier to digest and get their heads around 1,900 a week, and that equates to the 100 grand for the year. So use whatever's good for you. Everyone's different. It's either 8,300 a month, 1,900 a week, or the 100 grand a year as a whole total. Use what's good for you. Now, the next step, once we understand that it's 8,300 quid a month, you need to be looking at, based on the 20% margin that your company is going to be working to, that equals to 41,500 pounds of revenue every single month, okay? So you've got 41,500 of sales coming in from the jobs and your customers. That's excluding VAT, doesn't include VAT, it's excluding VAT. £41,500 coming in. Based on a 20% gross margin, that would equate to 8,300 in actual profit on the jobs, okay? Now, there's a calculator I've got that I'm using to do this. You can download it in the description below this video. You can then have a play around with that and it'll start making sense. You start playing around with figures and working out how the margin works with the profit margins, what you're actually going to be making, okay? Now, really, you've got to break that down even further and go, okay, now we know the actuals. We've got some proper numbers on paper. 41 grand and 500 pounds a month of work. You've now got to start looking at yourself and your business, what you offer, what you do, whatever your trade is, and working out how many jobs it actually is. What's the number? What is the actual number? You need to get drilled into proper numbers, because that's what gives you a proper business. So, for argument's sake, if you're doing extensions, that might only be one extension a month to be turning over 41,500. But if you're a general carpenter, you're doing roofs, you're doing first fix work, you might need 10, 20, 30 jobs a month to actually hit that. You've got to know that number. You've got to work backwards all the time to really understand what you've got to tackle and take on to hit the numbers that you want. Then the third thing you've got to be focused on is sales. Sales is every single business. Like, it's all about sales. Without sales, nothing happens. No one's got any jobs. No one's making money or earning money. The company doesn't exist without the sales. So we've got to look at the sales numbers as well, because now that you know how many jobs you need to win, and we know that it's 41 grand a month, rounded up or rounded down, should I say, that you need to win. The average in this industry, just an average for the purposes of the video, is you're going to win 1 out of 3 quotes that you do. You know, some of you will win a lot more, some of you might be a bit less, but if we base it on 1 out of 3, that means you're going to need to be pricing around about 120 grand a month of work every single month. Okay, so you priced 120 in a month, you win 1 out of 3, or that ratio that equates to the 41, then you're then making the 8,300 because you've priced it with a 20% clear margin. All right, now we've got some real substance and some numbers and like the inner workings of the business. So it makes life a lot easier to move forward. And then the fourth and final thing you need to be focused on is the labour element of delivering all that work. Because now on a bit of paper, you know, right, I need to be able to deliver this many jobs a month. You're going to know how many lads that's going to be for you, how many subcontractors you might be using, and all that types of stuff. So you can start having your eye on the ball without of drafting it and lining up your dream team to be able to deliver that, because you won't be able to deliver it all on your own. There's no way, it's impossible. Good businesses are built around good teams. So you've got to find those people now. It is hard to find people, don't get me wrong. I know fully well that it's bloody hard to find people, but they are out there. You do find them, and when you do get hold of them, you've got to look after them. But that's all the more reason to build a proper business that makes proper money, so that you can look after those people for a long time and keep them, so you can just keep going forward and keep scaling your business as you go. Okay? Now, as a side note, as a little top tip, if I was starting all over again, I would actually use all of my labour as subcontract labour, because it allows you to control your costs and know exactly where you are with everything, because you literally get a cost from your bricklayer, your ground worker, your plasterers, your chippies, your electricians, fixed costs. You know where you are, you put a margin on and off you go. Now, it's going to vary from different people because you're going to have different people available to you, but use what you've got. Use what you've got. If you know good sparkies, if you know good tilers, whatever, use them to your advantage. Put the right margin on that we spoke about, and then push it on. But for me, I would use all subcontract because it's nice and easy to run. You can run it, you can run the business from your car with a phone. That's all you actually need to run a decent construction-based business. Okay, so now we've broken that all down. Really, the rest of this series is going to be all about how we actually tackle it all and implement it all. Like, step 1 is just the numbers side, and like, what is it that we need to achieve and need to be looking at to actually make this happen. But we're going to start pushing on and actually breaking each element down. So if you haven't done already, make sure you subscribe, click the like button, click the bell, make sure you get the notification for when the next part in this series actually comes out, so you get it straight away. And then, we'll crack on as we move on through the video. And lastly, don't forget, you can download the free profit margin calculator I've got below in the description of this video. It will help you to understand the numbers. You can download that now for free. And I'll see you on the next one.